Gracious God of truth and knowledge, it is by your wisdom that we are taught the way and the truth. Bless these graduates. We lift each of them up as they now finish this course of study. We thank you for all of those who have taught and worked beside them and have supported them along the way. Walk with these graduates as they leave and as they move forward in this life. Take away their anxiety and their confusion of purpose, strengthen their many talents and skills, and instill in them a confidence of the future in which you plan, where energies may be gathered up and used for the good of all. Amen.
Good morning. On behalf of the summer and fall graduating classes of 2005, the faculty, staff, students, and alumni, I would like to welcome each of you this morning to the 95th fall commencement exercises on our campus at Southeastern Oklahoma State University. It's really a pleasure for me, along with the rest of the Southeastern family, to be able to take part in this commencement ceremony, which for our graduates marks the beginning of their life as a professional and the point in their life where literally every conceivable option is open to them. This commencement ceremony is particularly significant at Southeastern because approximately 1/3 of our graduates today are first-generation college graduates, the first in their family to receive a college degree. We know this is very significant. That's fine. We're very proud to be part of a ceremony that represents such a life-changing experience for our graduates. We're assembled here this morning to witness and participate in one of the oldest, the most colorful, and the most dignified of all academic ceremonies. Commencement is an event which our graduating class of 2005 will always remember and will always cherish. A message to our graduates. Graduating from this university is a tremendous honor, and I think each of you would agree that no one can accomplish this task alone. So we want to begin today's ceremony by taking the opportunity for our graduating class to thank their parents, their spouses, their relatives, their friends, and all who are here today who've played a very important role in helping you reach this goal in your life. I would like to ask all parents, relatives, spouses, and friends of our graduating class to stand as our graduating class of 2005 joins me in expressing appreciation to you for all of your support. Please stand and let us say thank you to you. We pay a lot of attention to our student surveys at Southeastern, and our student surveys confirm the fact that we have a great faculty at this university. So I would like to ask everyone to join me in expressing appreciation to our outstanding faculty at the university for their dedication and their commitment to our students and for their dedication to Southeastern. Let's congratulate our faculty this morning. Next, I would like to recognize and thank Dr. Robert McFadden, Professor of Music at the University, for providing the piano music this morning, and the Southeastern Chorale, under the direction of Dr. Stacy Weger, for providing our vocal music. Let's express our appreciation to them at this time. Next, I would like to introduce our platform guests, and I would ask that they stand as they're introduced. Please hold your applause until all of our guests are introduced. Dr. C.W. Mangrum, Dean of our School of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Buddy Gaster, Dean of the John Massey School of Business. Reverend Rick Connolly, Minister of the First Christian Church in Durant. Dr. Jeff Hale, Vice President for Enrollment Management, Marketing, and Intercollegiate Athletics. Our Dean of Students, Dean Liz McCraw. Mr. Gary Arnett, President of the Southeastern Alumni Association. Dr. Ed Mosé, Dean of our School of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. Douglas McMillan, Associate Vice President of Academic Affairs and Dean of our School of Graduate Studies. The Honorable Drew Edmondson, Oklahoma State Attorney General and our 2005 commencement speaker. Dr. Jesse Snowden, our Vice President for Academic Affairs. Mr. Ross Walkup, Vice President for Business Services. Ms. Sharon Robinson, Vice President for Student Services. Please join me in recognizing our platform guests at this time. Dr. Jesse Snowden, our Vice President for Academic Affairs, will now introduce our honor graduates. Dr. Snowden.
Thank you, President Johnson. I would first like to recognize the young men and women who are serving as student marshals for this morning's exercises. Our marshals are members of either Blue Key, a national leadership fraternity, or Cardinal Key, a national leadership sorority. We want to express our appreciation for the outstanding service Blue Key and Cardinal Key provide at commencement and many other campus functions. If the members of Blue Key and Cardinal Key will stand, let's please recognize them at this time. We're gathered here today to celebrate the academic achievements of each and every one of our graduates. There are a few, however, whose special achievement deserves special recognition. On behalf of the faculty, I want to now recognize these outstanding students. The first of several groups that we will recognize are the graduates of the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Honors Program. The Honors Program was developed on the foundation created by the Parsons Scholars Program, established in 1978 by an endowment from Southeastern alumnus Dr. David L. Parsons. Freshmen are accepted into the honors program after a highly competitive selection process. To be recognized as an honors graduate, students must complete the required honors courses and also participate in the other required activities of the program throughout their college careers. Honors program graduates can be recognized by the gold honors medallion held by a blue and gold ribbon that each is entitled to wear during these ceremonies. We are recognizing 4 honors program graduates this morning. And if you'll stand as I call your name, and please hold your applause until all are standing. Brandy Anderson, biology major from Calera, Oklahoma. Kelly Harrison, accounting major, Boswell, Oklahoma. Carrie Webster, communication major from Durant, Oklahoma. And Lindsay Young, biology major from Findlay, Oklahoma. Let's give a big hand for our honors program graduates. Please be seated. The next group to be recognized are members of the National Honor Society, Alpha Chi. Students from all majors are eligible for membership in this university-wide honor society. In order to qualify, the members of Alpha Chi had to be ranked in the top 10% of their junior or senior class while maintaining at least a 3.65 grade point average. Alpha Chi members can be recognized by the white stole each is wearing. Will all Alpha Chi members please stand and be recognized at this time? I will now introduce the Fall 2005 Honor Graduates. These students are graduating in the upper 10% of their class. We will recognize three groups of honor graduates. The first are those graduating cum laude or with honors. These represent the upper 6 to 10% of each graduating class. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing until all the cum laude graduates have been named. We ask you to please hold your applause until all have been announced. Chelsea R. Anderson, Aviation Management major, Del City, Oklahoma. Elizabeth Lee DeSoto, Biology major from Durant, Oklahoma. Stephanie Lee Howarth, Communication major, Sherman, Texas. And Sarah Ann Murphy, Communication major from Bell, Texas. Let's hear it for the cum laude graduates. You may be seated. The next group is graduating magna cum laude, or with high honors. These students represent the upper 3 to 5% of this class. Again, please stand as your name is called and remain standing until all of this group has been named, and again, please hold your applause until everyone is standing. The Fall 2005 magna cum laude graduates are Carol Dana Ertman, Art Education major, Stringtown, Oklahoma. Kelly Dana Harrison, English Education major from Boswell, Oklahoma. Shasta Ann Kavanaugh, Occupational Safety and Health major from Ivanhoe, Texas. And Asia Renee Reed, English Education major from Durant. These are your magna cum laude graduates. The final and most exclusive category of the honor graduates to be recognized are those graduating summa cum laude, or with highest honors. These students represent the top 2% of this graduating class. This morning we are recognizing the following summa cum laude graduates. Abaid Raymond Bhatti, Biotechnology major from Durant, Oklahoma. Catherine M. Colliert, Aviation Management major, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And Edward Leroy Kirkendall, Political Science major from Durant. These are your summa cum laude graduates. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Snowden. Congratulations to our honors graduates. Our chairman of our Board of Regents, Regent Ann Holloway, was called out of state on Thursday and accordingly could not be here this morning. She asked us to convey her congratulations to the graduating class. She is a proud alumnus of Southeastern and certainly wishes she could have been here. I'm honored at this time to welcome today our commencement speaker, the Honorable Drew Edmondson, Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma. Attorney General Edmondson was elected Attorney General first in 1994 and again in 1998. Became at that time only the second Attorney General in the history of our state to win re-election without opposition. He was re-elected to a third term in 2002. Attorney General Edmondson has served as the 2002-2003 President of the National Association of Attorney Generals after a 2-year term as Chair of the Consumer Protection Committee, and also he served as Chair of the Southern Region of Attorney Generals. Before his election as Attorney General in Oklahoma, Attorney General Edmondson was elected unopposed to 3 consecutive terms as Muskogee County District Attorney in 1982, 1986, and 1990. He served as president of the Oklahoma District Attorneys Association and was selected as the outstanding district attorney in the state in 1985. He also was selected as the outstanding death penalty prosecutor in the 9th and 10th Circuits Court of Appeals in the United States. Attorney General also served in the Oklahoma legislature before entering the University of Tulsa School of Law in 1976. He is a product of our regional university system in Oklahoma, graduating from Northeastern State University. He also attended Muskogee High School. His wife, Linda, is joining us this morning. Let's take a moment to welcome Linda here in the gallery with us. Pleased that she's with us. As the people's lawyer in Oklahoma, Attorney General Edmondson has taken the lead recently in the tobacco lawsuit settlements. He has been a strong advocate for our environment, protecting our rivers and our lakes, and he's been a passionate advocate for the elderly, the disabled, and our veterans. We're very honored that he is here today as our 2005 commencement speaker. I know he will have a message that will ring home with our graduates. So at this time, please join me in giving a very warm welcome to the Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma, the Honorable Drew Edmondson.
Thank you, President Johnson, for that warm introduction. I'm grateful to be here, and I know that there are a bunch of graduates back there who are grateful that my part on the program has come, because as soon as it's over, you get your degrees and we can get out of here. So we're looking forward to that. By the way, we were told earlier that when the announcement was made as to where the emergency exits were, there was applause. So, feel free to applaud anytime you want to. It's a very happy day, and you're allowed to show that. I was pleased to get the invitation from President Glenn Johnson to come and make this commencement here today. Those of us who knew Glenn Johnson when he was in the Oklahoma legislature, when he was Speaker of the Oklahoma House of Representatives, and you need to know that there are political scientists who argue that in Oklahoma, which has a constitutionally weak governor, in Oklahoma, the Speaker of the House of Representatives arguably is the most important position in state government in this state. And we watched Glenn Johnson serve as Speaker of the Oklahoma House. Those of us who knew him and watched him in action were not surprised at what he has accomplished as president of this great university. The changes that I have seen, the growth and development, the changes and growth in the number of people enrolled in this school, the new building on campus, all of this is no surprise to those of us who know Glenn Johnson and have known him for the last several decades. We expected that from your president. Great things are not done by one person alone, and so congratulations are extended, as President Johnson did, to the faculty, to the administration, to the students, and to the community who are truly building an even greater institution here in Durant, Oklahoma. And having been here and visited here for years, if I might, Durant, Oklahoma, the city of magnolias, on the campus of 1,000 magnolias, it's great to be here. And it was good to hear the number of honor graduates, magna cum laude, summa cum laude. I want you to know I did graduate from Northeastern. I graduated summa cum grateful. Congratulations are in order, of course, to these graduates who have achieved great things and are being marked for their success here today. Congratulations have been extended, and I join those, to the faculty and administration. Congratulations have been extended, and I join those, to the family members who provided support and encouragement and mentoring over the years as these students went through the academic process. And oh, did I mention financing? We're grateful for that as well. So the question comes to mind, as was exemplified in the story of the dog that was chasing the Volkswagen, and the driver of the Volkswagen stopped the vehicle, rolled down the window and said, "Okay, you've got it, what are you going to do with it?" That question is appropriate here today. You are receiving your degrees. You have completed your academic course. Some of you have done so with honors. All of you have done so with distinction. And the question is, now that you've got it, what are you going to do with it? Now that you have this ticket, where's it going to take you? What's going to happen in the foreseeable future? I would suggest at the outset that there are two different kinds of answers to that question. One is a very practical answer. And those of you who think in practical terms will think, well, I'm either going to graduate school, or I'm going to get a job, or I'm going to get married and raise a family. I'm going to do one of those things with this degree that I've now earned from Southeastern Oklahoma State University. But there's another level to that question on what are you going to do with it. And that level is, what are you going to do with it kind of globally? What are you going to do with it in terms of giving back to your community? What are you going to do in terms of getting back to the neighbors that watch you grow up? What are you going to do in terms of making this a better state, a better community, or a better nation? You now have a ticket to do something in regard to your community, your state, and your nation. And the question is, what kind of involvement are you going to have? Because contrary to what some people might believe, when Glenn Johnson was Speaker of the House, he did not solve all of the problems of the state and nation. There's some still out there that need to be worked on. As I have served as Attorney General of the state of Oklahoma, we've done some real interesting things, but I haven't solved all of the problems that are facing our state and our nation. And believe me, they have not in Washington, D.C. solved all of the problems that are facing our state and our nation. We've been generous enough to leave some of those problems for you to solve. There are problems with our environment that you may be aware of, some that have been talked about here today, some of the problems of protecting our waterways, our land, and our air. Some of us are old enough to remember several decades ago, before we passed a Clean Water Act and a Clean Air Act, when people in major cities in the United States wore the kind of surgical mask that you see in hospitals because they couldn't safely breathe the air in those cities. There was a time several decades ago when there were rivers in this country that were in danger of catching fire because of the pollutants that have been poured into those rivers and waterways. There was a time when I was younger and lived in the state of Virginia that my brother and I decided it'd be a lot of fun to go build a raft and go out onto the Potomac River. And of course, we fell in. It's a given. We built a raft and we fell off of it and had to have tetanus shots because of the level of pollution in that river that flowed by our nation's capital. Those problems are not over. They need your help. They need your willingness to get involved. You need to grow and evolve as a person. If I can use that word, evolve, that may be dangerous nowadays. But we do. We continue learning, we continue thinking, we continue reading. Gillette Burgess, who wrote the book Trout Fishing in America in 1967, said, if in the last few years you haven't discarded a major opinion or acquired a new one, check your pulse. You may be dead. So whatever opinions you have, you may be free to change those as you continue to read and study and learn and apply yourself to the problems not only of the environment, but of public health, of creating a more ethical government at both the state and national levels. The exploration of the stars, the elimination of urban blight, poverty, disease, ignorance, all of those problems are there for you to work on and to be involved in. Gore Vidal said half the people in this country never read a daily newspaper. and that half the people in this country never vote in a presidential election. And he said he only hoped it was the same half. We don't know whether it is or not, but consider it your duty to read a daily newspaper, to watch the news at night, and keep current on what is going on. I.F. Stone said the only kinds of fights worth fighting are those you're going to lose, because somebody has to fight them, and lose, and lose, and lose, until someday somebody who believes as you do wins. Take on those fights, whether it's in your community, your state, or your nation. Embrace those challenges as your own to build a better community, to give back. Last year in Oklahoma, 51 children died as a result of child abuse. 51 children in our state died as a result of child abuse in a single year. Do what needs to be done to break that cycle of violence, to stop the violence in the home that's repeated when the children who are exposed to it grow up. Do what needs to be done in terms of changes in the law. And if nothing else, if you can't go to the legislature, if you can't be governor, be a CASA volunteer, a court-appointed special advocate who's prepared to go into court and advocate in behalf of a child. Make a difference. Bring that number down. You must get involved in the great issues of the day. Had people not done that a little over 200 years ago, we would not have a country. We would not be celebrating here today. At least we would not have a country that's governed by ourselves in the form of a democracy. One of the heroes, one of the patriots that rose up and got involved and gave us a new country was Samuel Adams. He said this about those who would not get involved. He said, "If ye love wealth better than liberty, the tranquility of servitude better than the animating contest of freedom, go home from us in peace. Crouch down and lick the hands which feed you. May your chains be set lightly upon you, and may posterity forget that ye were our countrymen." And he went on to say, "It does not require a majority to prevail, but rather an irate, tireless minority, keen to set brush fires in people's minds." Be part of the irate minority that spots an issue and agitates toward the solving of problems. Take a cause and advocate for it, even if you're in the minority, because someday that cause will prevail. Margaret Mead said the same thing in different words. She said, "Never believe that a few caring people can't change the world, for indeed that's all that ever have." So my charge to you, when you get asked the question about the dog and the Volkswagen, now that you've got it, what are you going to do with it? My charge to you is to be involved, to change the world one step at a time, one issue at a time. And in the process, to value the rights of others, value the rights of those who don't believe the same way that you do, value the rights of those who don't worship the same way that you do, value the rights of those who don't look the same as you, value the rights of those who don't speak with the same accent with which you speak. Probably the best lines in that regard that I've ever heard or ever read begin like this: "In Germany, they first came for the communists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a communist. Then they came for the Jews, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a Jew. Then they came for the trade unionists, and I didn't speak up because I wasn't a trade unionist. Then they came for the Catholics, and I didn't speak up because I was a Protestant. Then they came for me. And by that time, no one was left to speak up. You must defend the rights of others because your own rights depend upon it. John Donne put it this way: no man is an island entire of itself. We are all a part of the continent, a piece of the main. If a clod be washed away by the sea, Europe is the lesser. Any man's death diminishes me, for I am involved in mankind. So therefore sin not to know for whom the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. One of my heroes growing up was Robert Kennedy. He served in his brother's cabinet. When John F. Kennedy was president, he served as Attorney General and later went on to serve the state of New York in the United States Senate. He was assassinated in 1968. But he was eloquent in life and spoke to the issues that affected all of us. And one of the speeches that he made that I truly learned to love was a speech that he made in Cape Town, South Africa in 1966. And this was during the time of apartheid, where legally, by law, the races were separate. And it wasn't just a social taboo. People could be incarcerated for mingling. Robert F. Kennedy said this: few will have the greatness to bend history, but each of us can work to change a small portion of events, and in the total of all those acts will be written the history of this generation. It is from numberless diverse acts of courage and belief that human history is thus shaped. Each time a man stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, he sends forth a tiny ripple of hope, and crossing each other from a million different centers of energy and daring, these ripples build a current which can sweep down the mightiest walls of oppression and resistance. It says it on the wall: make your mark, Southeastern. Southeastern has now given you what you need to begin to make your mark, to make a difference, to read and to learn, to instruct and to care, to vote and to participate, to protect our environment, to protect our children, to protect our schools, to protect our health, to protect our elderly, to protect those in our society who are weak. And what it boils down to is to protect each other. To protect each other. That's my charge to you today. That is your obligation as a citizen. And I will leave you with one final admonition. You are allowed to take the rest of the weekend off. So enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Attorney General Edmondson, for that inspirational message to our graduates. On behalf of our graduating class of 2005, please accept this gift and recognition of your commencement address at Southeastern. Thank you again for being here.
Kenneth Barnes. Bonnie Bean. Gerald W. Beck. Jessica Bell. Garrett Stephen Lookout. Cassandra Sage Booth, cum laude. Susan Renee Brannon. Rose Butler. Amanda Janice Cargill. Stoney Joe Carroll, magna cum laude. Lance Edward Cherry. April Renee Clark. Leslie Brooke Clark. Samantha Louise Hicks Copeland. Deanna Allensworth Cunningham. Stephen Douglas Darty, magna cum laude. Hillary Page Davis. Jennifer Lynn Dean. Sarah Jean Dixon. Amanda May Draper. Bernice Loretta Shabanek. Lacey Einspar. Carol J. Ellis. Brittany Dawn Irwin Bitchmore. Roland Fanning. Lori Jo Ford. Tabitha Faust. Christy Friesen. Kathy Williamson Gore. Amanda Jaylene Goggins. Fred Alex Hara. Norvin Graham. Amanda Danielle Grantham. Julie Ann Johnson Graves. Dawn Beggs Green, summa cum laude. Katharina Louise Reed Gross. Joel Gustafson. Michelle Dawn Hall. Matthew Scott Hall. Susan Elizabeth Hall. Carolyn K. Hampton. Jamie Elizabeth Haney. Jackie Dell Hankins. Phyllis Hanley. Lynette Hargrove. Mindy Michelle Hawthorne. Jade L. Higgins. Casey Dawn Hines. Timothy Edward Holt, Jr. Brian Keith Howell. Amanda K. Jones. Jenny Castleman Jones. Kyla Kelly Jones. Jonathan James Grant Key. John Bradley Martin. Rebecca Catherine Mott. Melissa McDaniel. Kendra McIntyre. Dustin Delane McKay. Crystal Lynn Morley. Erica Joan Morton. Rebecca Mullendore. Pat Eugene Murphy. cum laude. Sherry Lynn Murray. Heather Muxlow. Cody Nicholas Ortega. Amber Claudette Overby. Jewel Peterson. Lindsay Adrian Phillips, magna cum laude. Cheryl Poling. Casey Glenn Price. Jeffrey Tate Reardon. Stephanie Rudy. Joyce Ann Reisner. Karen Madonna Rome, magna cum laude. Tracy Rogers. Emily Rutledge Lane. Jacqueline Victoria Ryan. Dana Kathleen Johnson Ryan. Tiffany Smith. Ashley Nicole Snyder. Billy Spurgeon. John Taylor. Florine Terry. Crystal Renee Thomas. Kara Ann Thomas, cum laude. Erin Michelle Thurman, cum laude. Lacey Socorro Bland Tomlinson. Kimberly Trell Powell. Jessica Ann Hewlin. Anthony Walton. Shauna Leanne Watson. Lindsay Autumn Whitaker, cum laude. Crystal Williams. Andra Wingo. Shannon Renee Wood.
Please congratulate those in our School of Education, Behavioral Science, receiving their bachelor's degree. I would now ask Dr. Douglas McMillan, the Dean of our School of Graduate Studies, to come to the podium for the purpose of presenting candidates for master's degrees in our School of Education and Behavioral Sciences. Dr. McMillan.
Will the master's candidates please rise? President Johnson, these students have met the requirements for their master's degrees, and it's a recommendation of the graduate faculty that they now come forward and receive their degrees and academic goodwill.
Thank you, Dr. McMillan. Consistent with the statutes of the state of Oklahoma, the rules and regulations of the North Central Association of Colleges and Schools, the rules and regulations of the Oklahoma State Regents for Higher Education and the Board of Regents of Oklahoma Colleges, and by the authority vested in me by these regents, it's my pleasure to confer on each of you the master's degree as printed in the program with all the rights, ranks, privileges, and responsibilities that such a degree carries among scholars. In testimony thereof, you may now come forward to receive your degree and your academic fitting.
Tricia Renee Barnhill. Juanima Gail Burks. Holly Burns. Brian Keith Bymaster. Melanie Chesser. Carrie Lee Dry. David Paul Gill. Kelly Harris. Lisa Ann Branson Harrington. Ginger Dollarhide Kelly. Donette Renee LaForce. Betty Gale Roberts. Anne Marie Rutledge. Teresa Webb.
Let's express our congratulations to those receiving their master's degree. And let's, for the first time, congratulate the graduating class 2005 at Southeastern. Congratulations to all graduates. It's now my pleasure to invite the president of the Southeastern Oklahoma State University Alumni Association, Mr. Gary Arnett, to the podium for comments. Please welcome Mr. Gary Arnett.
Well, today marks your introduction into a vital congregation, the Alumni Association of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. Just as today marks the beginning of your life away from the university, it also marks your initiation into its fellowship of alumni. The university is a living, breathing entity, and our students, both present and former, bring that to life. You are an integral part of Southeastern. Today does not mark your severance from the university, but rather your union with her. You are today and forever a part of the life support of Southeastern Oklahoma State University. All who are touched by her become a part of it. It is through this ongoing relationship that Southeastern continues to thrive. As members of our Alumni Association, you have the opportunity to share your commitment to higher education with everyone that you meet. All of us who maintain our relationship with Southeastern hope that you will recognize the powerful impact you can have and the importance your fellowship is with the university. As a courtesy, the Alumni Association has given you your first year membership in our association, and today we proudly welcome you into that membership. We also want to present a gift to you as you walk out the door and leave today's ceremony. On behalf of the Alumni Association of Southeastern Oklahoma State University, let me again congratulate you for all that you've achieved today.
Thank you very much, President Arnett. To close our ceremony today, I would ask everyone to please stand at this time, and let's join the Southeastern Chorale as we sing the university's alma mater, which you will find on page 28 of your program. Please remain standing until the recessional is complete.